The Discovery Channel was once a very dry but very earnest item in the basic cable lineup. In the 80s and 90s, the cable network ran educational shows, but since every other channel decided to get into reality television in the new millennium, Discovery pivoted to a reality-heavy rotation too. And with reality TV comes scandal. The MythBusters crew educated as they entertained, informing the masses about how the world really works and debunking widely believed misinformation along the way. The gang also seemed to virtually always find a reason to blow something up. For science. The vast majority of the time, those explosions were conducted in a controlled environment with every precaution considered ahead of time. But with explosions, you really have to get all the boxes checked, or things go sideways. After a MythBusters-created explosion knocked her off her couch and shattered a window in her house in Esparto, California in 2009, Cheryl Stevens told KCRA-TV, "It was a boom that was just, I had never heard anything like that before. It was really weird." Seeing a plume of smoke and dust rise about a mile outside town, locals thought there might have been a plane crash or a building explosion. But it had merely been those pesky busters of myth attempting to see if the phrase "knock your socks off" had any basis in reality. They'd blown up 500 pounds of ammonium nitrate to remove the socks from a mannequin, but they didn't realize the explosion would be as big as it was. MythBusters paid for several broken windows in and around Esparto. In 2014, the Discovery Channel announced Eaten Alive, a 2-hour special featuring Paul Rosalie, a conservation advocate and snake expert, in his quest to locate a 25-foot-long anaconda he'd seen years before in the Amazon rainforest. While wearing a protective suit covered in pig's blood, he would allow the snake to consume him and then regurgitate him. Why? To raise awareness of the need to save the rainforest, obviously. PETA condemned the televised stunt, arguing that it was cruel to provoke an animal, but the Discovery Channel argued that the snake would ultimately emerge unharmed, as would Rosalie.
I know a lot about anacondas. I would never hurt one.
Despite the concerns, Eaten Alive aired in December 2014. It was ultimately much ado about nothing because Rosalie did not even get eaten alive. Worse, he didn't even find the right snake. After traipsing around the jungle, he had to settle for a 20-foot anaconda. With 10 minutes left in the show, he approached it in the water and successfully provoked it. Its mouth closed around Rosalie's head and started to crush his arm, which is when Rosalie freaked out and called for his crew to shut down the stunt and pull him out of the snake's fatal clutches. In the end, those most angered by Eaten Alive were viewers who expressed their disappointment at not actually getting to see what was advertised in the show's title. For 10 seasons now, armchair survivalists and people who like the idea but not the practice of camping have dutifully followed Alaskan Bush People, the Discovery Channel show about the large and extended Brown family as they try to live way off the grid and not die in the most remote parts of Alaska for months at a time. While the family is ostensibly from Alaska and certainly seem to embody the rugged Alaskan values they espouse on the show, not all of the family members actually live in Alaska all the time, which got them in trouble with the law. No, it's not illegal to stretch the truth on a reality show, but it is illegal to claim tax credits as an Alaskan resident when you don't live there. In 2014, not long after Alaskan Bush People premiered, a grand jury in Juneau issued indictments for members of the Brown family on felony charges of unsworn falsification and theft. Top dog Billy Brown and son Joshua Brown reached a plea deal, accepting fines and 30 days in jail while admitting they had left Alaska in October 2009, stayed gone until August 2012, but still accepted the subsidy that full-time residents receive from state oil money. Airing on the Discovery Channel from 2011 to 2014, Sons of Guns focused on a Louisiana-based company called Red Jacket Firearms, which made and sold customized weaponry to police departments, private security companies, and gun enthusiasts. That kind of business necessarily involves dangerous and explosive equipment, including guns, of course, as well as ammunition and pyrotechnics. Sons of Guns also involved a bit of travel, as Red Jacket sold to individuals and organizations all over the country. Shortly after the show's first season debuted, 2 crew members parked a rental truck filled with pyrotechnics and a few firearms outside Terminal B at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Then, looking for a third member of their party, they left the truck unattended. Yes, they briefly abandoned a truck loaded with explosives and guns outside an airport. Even worse, they did it on September 11, 2011, the 10th anniversary of the terror attacks of 9/11. Airport security and the FBI located the owners of the truck and grilled them. The crew members were eventually released and the lockdown terminal reopened after a couple hours. Besides reality shows, another constant in cable TV programming is alarmist commercials for wallets that claim to block hackers' attempts to steal information from radio frequency identification-enabled or RFID credit cards. It turns out that techno-criminals really can do that, and in 2007, MythBusters hosts Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman tried to prove it. CNET reports that at the 2008 Last Hacking on Planet Earth conference, Savage claimed that the experiment was scrapped mid-production due to objections from advertisers in the technology and credit card sectors in a conference call with Discovery Channel brass. Savage described a conference call where
Texas Instruments comes on, along with Chief Legal Counsel for American Express, Visa, Discover.
Savage went on to say Discovery was outgunned and told not to air the episode. Texas Instruments spokesperson Cindy Huff told CNET that her company just had some questions for MythBusters about how they plan to broach the topic and said it was MythBusters who decided not to pursue the episode. After that, Savage had to retract some of his wording, saying, "I have to admit that I got some of my facts wrong." He revealed that he hadn't actually been on the conference call. Nevertheless, MythBusters did eventually air an episode about RFID, but didn't address the technology's possible security flaws. American Casino, which aired on Discovery in 2004 before moving to sister network The Travel Channel the following year, gave viewers an inside look at the day-to-day business and operations that take place behind the scenes in one of the most secure and secretive places in the country, a Nevada gambling resort, namely the Green Valley Ranch Casino and Hotel in suburban Henderson. American Casino didn't rely much on the soap opera-like personal clashes that define most reality TV shows, but it provided for some shocking and tragic off-camera scandal. Michael Tata was featured on the show's first season, going about his job as vice president of hotel operations. In July 2004, while Discovery was in the middle of airing American Casino, Tata died at age 33. A medical examiner later determined the death to be accidental, likely due to a combination of alcohol and fentanyl, an extremely powerful opiate painkiller. American Casino got bumped from Discovery's lineup due to a scheduled hiatus, but producers got back to work making more episodes less than a month after Tata's death. About the worst thing a reality show can do is fake it. It makes viewers feel silly for investing so much time and emotional bandwidth in a series only to find out that it was staged. Discovery Channel's Man vs. Wild featured military-trained British survivalist Bear Grylls as he ventured into the wilderness with little more than his special set of skills. He always made it through, in part because most everything was staged. After the first season of the show aired, a crew member told the Sunday Times that Grylls wasn't always sleeping on twigs and leaves, but in a nearby hotel. On another occasion, an episode implied Grylls built himself a sturdy raft when in fact a crew had previously built it to see if it would float, then carefully disassembled it so Grylls could put it together himself. And those wild horses Grylls encountered? They were rented. When confronted with all this, Grylls didn't deny it. He apologized. He told the BBC, "If people felt misled on how the first series was represented, I'm really sorry for that." Meanwhile, the Discovery Channel owned up to how isolated elements had not been natural to the environment, or, fake.
I've been all the way around this now. It's definitely an island.
What American Chopper was to motorcycles, American Guns was to firearms. It showcased the goings-on at the Wyatt family's Gunsmoke Guns shop in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. In December 2012, Discovery Channel canceled American Guns and pulled reruns too. The network claimed it had decided weeks earlier to not renew the show, but it was only announced after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. Even if that hadn't happened, Discovery likely would have distanced itself from American Guns soon anyway because a massive scandal broke out. Shortly after a 2013 break-in and robbery, the IRS closed Gunsmoke to perform a search. A month later, an affidavit related to that search was made public. It all goes back to 2010 when the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives received a tip that Gunsmoke, under manager Rich Wyatt, possessed 6 illegal firearms. That prompted a closer look at Gunsmoke's records, which revealed that the Wyatts didn't actually own the store as their show implied. Wyatt's signature appeared on sales tax returns from 2008 to 2011, but nobody's signature appeared on several other years' worth of tax returns because they weren't filed for a number of years. The government also alleged that the Wyatts underreported their wages to steal from the business, as evidenced by multiple large real estate and car purchases. In 2018, Rich Wyatt got a 78-month prison sentence for the gun dealing and tax charges.
You're taking all this money.
All this money, yeah.
You can't do that.
Discovery Channel's motorcycle series Monster Garage followed Jesse James and a team of mechanics, fabricators, and artists as they attempted to make extreme modifications to vehicles. For example, they tried to turn a DeLorean into a hovercraft. James came to the series with solid credentials as the owner and main builder of souped-up and custom motorcycles at West Coast Choppers. James also stakes historical and familial claim to his bad boy image. He says he's a distant descendant of Wild West scofflaw Jesse James. It would seem that the 21st century Jesse James broke the law just like his 19th century namesake. The California Air Resources Board levied a fine of more than $270,000 at James and West Coast Choppers, charging man and business with customizing and selling bikes that shattered the Golden State's clean air regulations. An investigation found that his monsters didn't come with state-certified exhaust and fuel system emissions gear, and that they generated 10 times the legal limits of hydrocarbons. James and company worked on the bikes in question between the years of 1998 and 2005, overlapping the time Monster Garage was on the air. Early one morning in December 2011, MythBusters visited a bomb range in Alameda County, California, about 25 miles north of San Jose. They had been there more than 50 times already. This time, they brought along a cannon built especially for the show and tested the trajectory of a softball-sized cannonball. The projectile was intended to blast through a few barrels of water and a wall of cinder blocks, then come to rest somewhere in the protective hills around the bomb range. The cannonball missed the water barrels intended to slow its flight. It soared through the wall and bounced off one of the hills and into the nearby town of Dublin. The cannonball kept going through the door of a house, through the walls of an upstairs bedroom, and through the window of a minivan 100 feet away. That house was occupied by 3 people at the time who somehow didn't even wake up. MythBusters sent a producer to the home and agreed to meet with the family's insurance companies to work everything out.
Right. Well, it radically altered our entire safety procedure and our approach and a mental approach to safety from the ground up.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about reality TV are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.